Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Instagram Collectors Roundtable, the last one of the year, and it's a big one because we're going over our top editions of 2022. And not only is that exciting, but there's 5 other people here joining me. We've got Reed for the first time. What's up, Reed?
What's going on?
And your Instagram handle is what for those that might not know you?
Yeah, _Reed.
Yeah, he's got a little tiny Robertson collection, but whatever, no big deal.
Nick Robertson's brother.
Yeah, that's right. The other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Kelvin has made it back to join us. What's up, Kelvin?
Hello. Feeling better, so excited for today.
Awesome. Glad you could make it. Mitch has also made it. He's got a Bulls hat on. I'm surprised he doesn't have a Capitals hat on after what he witnessed last night. Lucky son of a gun. Mitch, are you still riding on a high after that amazing scene you got to go to?
Yeah, for those that don't know, I was at the Ovechkin 800 goal game yesterday, and I was like 40 feet from the net. I was specifically like watching tickets in that section where his office is, and I was like, if I can just sit right there. I didn't really think a hat trick would happen, but I was like, if I can just see one goal,
Right.
that would be super cool. And then it was like probably the coolest sports moment of my life. And I was survived.
That's so cool, dude. It was great in the group chat because, like, before the game, you're like, man, 800 is going to happen. Ha. And you were kind of being nonchalant about it. And then within, 2 minutes of him getting the first one, he got 2. And you're like, oh, my gosh, what is happening right now? So, and then he got number 3 when he came back down to your end. So, yeah, that was incredible. Well, that's great you got to see that. Logan has also made it. Logan and I are in the same boat. We've got 2 more days, 48 hours left until our break starts. Logan, are you looking forward to Christmas break?
Yeah, currently we have a snow day tomorrow as well. So I just got 24 hours really after this.
Right. If you go back, right? They might just be like, all right, have a good break.
No, I don't know. I got some tests to give.
Oh, do you? Yeah, well, good. Well, glad you could join us, dude. Glad you could join us. And then Tim is also here. Good to see you, buddy.
Glad to be here.
Excited to share. I think out of all of us, you have got to have the toughest top 10 because your collection is so widespread. It must have been tough to come up with that, right?
Yeah, it was. I was up pretty much throughout a little bit past midnight, just trying to narrow everything down because, like you said, I just had so much to choose from.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me get it pulled up here to show everybody. Instead of doing the typical, let's just get your 10 best cards, I have to admit that I gave these guys a bit of a homework assignment that all of us were doing at the last minute. So sorry about that, but not sorry. Let me pull these up here. Did everybody have fun going through all the categories, first of all, before I pull them up here?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I hear some a little bit of excitement, so I'll take that in the end. So here is what we came up with. Well, I guess I came up with, but so we got the most sentimental edition, biggest steal, best community assist. I felt like that was the hardest one for me by far because we're always helping each other out. We've got our most expensive purchase. That's probably the easiest category for all of us to figure out because we all keep track of that stuff pretty well. Most beautiful. An inexpensive but very significant edition, best patch, best autograph, best non-patch auto, and then the biggest surprise edition of the year. So I felt like that would give us some variety and give us some talking points, on some of these cards. So we'll try to kind of keep it in the same order. What we'll do is we'll just start with somebody different each time, but we'll kind of go. Everybody see how everyone is on the screen. We'll kind of go clockwise here. We'll start with Reed, since you're technically at midnight or 12 o'clock. The new guy gets to start first.
Awesome. Great.
So let's start with number 1, everybody. We're going to start with our most sentimental edition of the year, kind of talk about, the card, obviously, why it's the most sentimental edition. And if anybody's got any comments, let's talk about it. But I can't wait to see the fire emoji that we're about to see in this episode. It's going to be pretty fun. So.
Yeah.
You want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So my most sentimental is the Emerald Surge auto. Because that was like my first big collecting goal was the auto rainbow, and believe it or not, this was actually the last one to complete it. So I spent a lot of time on Facebook and other sites, like trying to track all these down, and finally getting this one in my hands was a really special feeling. It was just like something I didn't even when I started didn't even know if I was actually going to finish, and then I finally finished it, and it just felt really good. And then additionally, I went to my first ever national, and I got the Pop 1 PSA 10 when I subbed it at the national. So that's a cool memory as well.
Wow.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, the color match is what it's all about. On
Yeah,
that card,
yeah.
man. I love that.
Color match is disgusting.
Al is very excited about tonight, by the way. So is Name and anybody know who this is? I feel like we should know who this is, but I'm not quite sure.
It looks familiar.
Yeah, right. So next up is Kelvin. Kelvin, most sentimental edition of the year?
So 1011 certified was the very first product I opened getting back into collecting. So I picked up, well, I have there are like 3 variations, but I'll just pick the auto one. I have the 1011 certified mirror gold out of 25. And then to go with it as well, I have the mirror gold and then the platinum mirror gold.
Awesome. How much of that did you open, by the way, back in the day?
Certified? Not as much. I opened way more Score and Prism and Select. I think those are the 3 I opened the most of.
Gotcha. Yeah, those again, I was having a conversation. I feel like Panini was so tough out of the box. I mean, Mitch proved that with the box that he got at the Expo, which I really would have been nice to see a cool patch. But it was tough. But man, I wish I was collecting like I am right now. Back when Dominion first came out, I could have had so many nice flurries for cheap. It's crazy. Not to embarrass anybody in this show here, but there is a particular person who did not use the list to come up with their top 10. Don't know who that is, but hopefully that person is scrambling to figure out which card they're going to do for number 1. I'm going to move this person to last here so they can pick their card. And Tim, would you mind jumping ahead and doing number 1?
Not at all. I'd love to. For me, this was an easy choice for me. I chose my Zibanejad Young Gun High Gloss out of 10.
Wow.
Ooh.
And the reason why I chose it and why it's sentimental for me is because it came from Alex. It came from Alex's personal collection. At the time, he had 2. And he was on his way for funding a really, really huge purchase. And we tried to help each other out. And he wound up selling me his double of the High Gloss. And, Alex is my best bud as far as in the hobby. And so for it to go from his hands to mine, that's what makes it extra special for me.
Right.
So that's my choice for that.
Awesome.
That's sick.
That's a great card, man. I mean, it doesn't get much better if you're looking for a Young Guns of a player, no matter who it is, low end, high end.
Yeah.
I mean, Reed knows that too. Like the High Gloss is the one to have. Like
It's my white whale right now.
Yep.
You picked a tough time to go after that card, man, but I don't blame you at all.
I mean, I've been trying.
How many have you seen in the wild?
3 or 4. I know who has the Pop 1 PSA 10. I could go into it, but he agreed to a deal and then backed out on it, so that kind of sucks. But it happens.
Right.
It is what it is.
I hope you can track that down. That's awesome, Tim. Great card, dude. And obviously that's the profile picture you got on Instagram. That's your guy. So
Exactly.
Hey, Mitch, what's up? We were missing you. Where'd you go?
Nope, he's gone.
All right. Logan, you want to go next, dude? What was your most sentimental edition, you think?
Well, I mean, number 1 sentimental edition was a football card.
Nice.
Devin Hester,
Nice.
National Treasures patch auto, rookie patch auto. It was game used, so that's pretty neat. But the big part about this was me and Dad went to the Super Bowl and watched Devin Hester run it back, and we actually opened 2 boxes of National Treasures, and I got AJ Hawk autograph patch auto, still have it, so wasn't as lucky with the Devin Hester, but I was pretty happy to have that in the collection.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, it's good to see some variety. I know Tim has talked about that too. I know we're all mainly hockey collectors, but we also have a little bit of variety in our collections too, and it's good to see stuff like that. So that's awesome, man. Very cool. Before Mitch, would you like me to go next, or are you ready to rock and roll?
I got it.
All right. I feel like the teacher that like told the class the assignment was due today, and you had been thinking it was due tomorrow, and you're like scrambling and like writing stuff in the back of the room. So thanks for that. But way to come through in the clutch, dude.
Yeah,
Go for
I
it.
totally thought we just agreed on just our top 10. So I had like this stack here, but luckily, for this question, I immediately knew which card was my most sentimental. So I'll show it. It's an 0506 Ultimate premium swatches of Patrick Waugh out of 35. And the reason this one is so sentimental to me is that when I was a kid, so when this product came out, I was 10 years old, and I remember going to my shop and like just dreaming every day of being able to buy just one pack. They were selling it by the pack. So I don't know if you guys know, 0506 until 0708, Ultimate came in a 4-pack box, and it was around $300 a box, or you could buy one pack for $85 was how my card shop was doing it. So every time I would go in, I'd buy like a pack of SB Authentic or Artifacts, but I always dream about being like, wow, imagine spending $85 on one pack. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then one time I went in there, and some guy I didn't know, he bought the whole box of 0506 Ultimate, and he pulled not this exact copy, but a Patrick Waugh premium swatches, and it had like also like part of the white avalanche like snow, and I thought it was like the coolest card I'd ever seen at that point. And that's like a core memory of mine for being in the hobby, is like remembering like staring at that card like, wow, that is one of the coolest cards I've ever seen. So I saw this pop up on eBay, and I had to grab it because I love this set anyway. But for it to be the Patrick Waugh patch, I was just super excited to get it. There's so much nostalgia for me coming from this one card. So
That's awesome, dude. Love to hear stuff like that. And I think it sounds like your collection is very much sentimental driven because of your early memories with the cup. And a lot of your players you collect are tied to different memories or something you remember seeing them do in a game. So that set is incredible, man. That's so nasty. I mean, you have never mind, I don't want to spoil it, but you've been really lucky with that patch. So hopefully you can show some others in the future and after the new year. That would be great. I think it was tough for me because I could have grabbed like a $3 card that I got with my dad at a card show. That was probably the most fun I've had with him in the hobby in a long time. But when I thought of like most sentimental, I thought about what card I like dreamed about owning since I knew it was going to be out. And it's funny because one just sold for way cheaper than mine, but I'm perfectly fine with that because I love the card so much. But I had to go with this card. I remember when I saw that he was in this set, and just the idea of having different colored diamonds, like this is the Thanos card, I called it. When I finally saw this thing for sale in the thread that I posted on Facebook, I didn't care that the corner was dinged. I knew what price I wanted to pay. He accepted my offer, and in 2 weeks it was here. And so that was definitely a card that, you go to sleep thinking about, kind of like Mitch was saying, you know there's a copy of it, and you think about it and you think about it. And couldn't be more thrilled. This thing actually scanned in better than it looks in person. So I'm quite happy about that. But anyways, I love the idea. I know this Black Diamond is not a well-received set for different reasons, but for me, cards that are unique, that try something new are always going to be a hit with me. And the fact that he made this set was super exciting. So this is easy number one overall for me. I think most sentimental, most excited I was too. So did I just close number 2 out? I think I did, didn't I? Nope, I did not. Let's go to this is a fun category here. Biggest steal or best deal on a major edition. So we all know the market pretty well, and our markets are all different. Right now, Reed's market is probably the least desirable market you want to be in if you're a buyer, but that's how it goes, and your player is dominating. You've got Kelvin, who's an established Hall of Famer, one of the best goalies of all time. Tim's got a market in 100 different places. Mitch pretty much knows his market for his set. Fleury's coming down a bit. Kane is probably dipping a little bit because the team's not very good, but that's a good thing for Logan and I because we'll still buy the cards. We don't care. So all of us experience different markets, but for us, we know when we get a steal. Like, holy smokes, I can't believe I won it for this. So I started with Reed last time. Let's start with Kelvin on this one. Kelvin, what was your best steal this year or best deal you got?
So yeah, this was a buy it now. I want to say it's like $25, and it's the 12-13 cracked ice.
How much did you say it was?
I think it was 25 Canadian.
Dang. Nice.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was an easy buy and very easy purchase. I wasn't planning to do like the non-pack pulled like Prism Parallels, but I mean at that price, I can't say no, right? So
those look so nice though, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, if your player is in that set, eventually you're gonna have to grab one. And because especially that non-numbered version, right? They're just as tough as the numbered in a way because you said those were at the expo, right? That's where those
those
came
ones
from?
are expo, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how many got out there, how many people even know they have. So, yeah, that's a steal of a deal. Awesome. Mitch, do you have your biggest steal on hand? All right. How about you next, dude? Oh, hold on. There we go.
Yeah. So luckily, this card was already in my top 10. So I think a lot of you guys know what it is. But this card popped up on a like random small Facebook group, and the asking price was $350, like it was like for something Canadian, which came up to $350 American about. Ron Francis, Dominion,
Jeez.
Ensigns, Game Use Shield, autographed 101. I mean, it was kind of ridiculous. I mean, someone already offered me $3,000 for it, so that gives you a pretty good idea of how big of a steal it was.
Yeah.
I don't plan on selling it. I'm very happy to own it. But yeah, it's easily the biggest steal.
Yeah, that's paying 10% of what it probably would go for at market is pretty impressive, man. That's fantastic. Good to see that card again. I'd be curious to see what it would take for someone to get that out of your hands, but incredible to own it regardless for what he accomplished in the league. So that's awesome. Tim, you want to go next, dude?
Sure, I got it. So what I got here, right? It's nothing major, but it's Alexander Barkov's in the game draft position. Here's in prospects, 1 of 1, Onyx 1 of 1 rookie, well pre-rookie, right? And I know that a lot of people don't really put a lot of stock into in the game stuff, but for me, I love, any cards that feature international jerseys. It's a pre-rookie, which I don't mind. For it to be a 1 of 1, I think it's a pack inserted 1 of 1 for I think less than $20 of Alexander Barkov, who's going to be one of the top players that we look back on in our current generation.
Yeah,
for less than $20, I think that's a pretty big steal for me.
definitely. Well, and I think all of us have our own opinions about in the game. I mean, I know, for instance, Reed, maybe you like it, but I would think that you could care less because Jason Robinson doesn't have any of that stuff. And the designs are kind of wonky and a little bit cheaper looking. But I think for some of us that, have players like Fleury's got a ton of stuff in there. I think there's some really unique cards to find, and finding a 1-on-1 from any set of a player you collect. I mean, that's incredible, especially that price.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Very cool. Yeah, I remember when you grabbed that and you told us how much you paid. I couldn't believe it. It seemed like you were like somebody misspelled his name or something.
Right.
How about you, Logan?
I think the best deal I had was this titanium game worn gear, numbered out of 15, 3 colors, $16 on bids.
Jeez.
And I mean, when I was younger, Marty St. Louis, watching him win the Stanley Cup, I just kind of had a couple of his autograph cards from when I was younger, and I don't know.
That's crazy, dude. I feel like Panini stuff, I'm whatever. If people don't like it, good, fine. More people can not bid on it. But Calvin and I, we've talked about Panini more than most people. I mean, look at that shield of Ron Francis. That card is incredible, like the design, and people value it less. Fine by me, right, Logan? I mean,
Yeah.
if that was a premier patch of those two, there's no way you get it for that price. There's no way. So yeah, heck yeah, that's what it's all about. So I'll go next, and then Reed, you can finish this one off. I would say, oh gosh, I got my stuff on scans here. Logan remembers this one because at the time, Fleury's market was completely nuts. I mean, you guys remember right before he won the Vezina, right when he won the Vezina, his cards were going for really high amounts. So when this came up for auction, I had a huge bid ready, right? Like 10 seconds to go, and I put that bid in, and I won it. I mean, at the time, I was like, this is going for $500-600, and it went for $250, I think. So for me, and the significance of this set, and the only other two on eBay were both for like 1,000 or best offer, 750 best offer. I felt like in the grand scheme of things, this will probably end up being one of my best deals on a Fleury card. I know another one just sold within the last couple months for like 300, but at the time, you know what I mean? Early this year, it was very, very expensive. So yeah, super, super happy about that one. Go ahead, Reed. You want to finish something off for us?
Yeah, sure, man. Those Vegas limited logos patches they're so sweet. The gold is awesome.
Yep, can't get enough of that.
All right, so my biggest deal was the Premier Base 101 J-Rob. So, story behind this is, every once in a while I'll post on Facebook, kind of just looking for J-Rob stuff. Let me see what you got. And some guy he replied with that, and this was kind of in the middle of the 40 goal season last year, so his prices were definitely up already. And I was like, I almost didn't want to reply because it's not autoed, and I just thought he'd want way too much for it. But I decided to ask him how much he wanted. He's like, yeah, I'll take 400 Canadian. I was like, would you do 350? I was like, yeah. I was like, all right, sick. And I think what makes it even better is like the actual autoed version. He signed too high up on the card, and it has that like material that makes the auto super bubbly and streaky.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal at some point is to get this in-person autoed with like a nice paint pen or something, because I think it would look awesome, and I think I would personally want that more than the ugly auto on the true 101 auto.
Right.
So yeah, I was pretty happy when I got that one. I couldn't believe what he was asking for it.
I just like to point out that I don't know what it is about all of us collectors. Like that $400 price was so freaking good already, yet you still offered lower. I mean, I know Mitch's camera is so disgusted that you even offered 350 that it decided not to focus. I mean, but no, seriously, that's wild. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of cards we all could have picked for that category, but it's really, if you do your due diligence and look at auctions, and I think the limited logo, for instance, didn't say limited logo, just said patch auto.
Wow.
So we've all seen that, right? Where like a card is there, but people that are only looking for those specific words, it's not in the title, and you get a good deal, or a bad picture, right? Like the picture sucks. It's like a terrible blurry picture, and you get it. So yeah, there's just so many factors. You nailed it, Alex, for sure. And I do want to mention, I put a post up. I don't know if you guys saw it, that, send me your top 5, and I'll show it at the end of the show. We've got a few replies in there, so it'll be fun to see those from some people that we know. Okay, so that is number 2. How are we doing on time here? 23 minutes? Yeah, we might make it through most of them, hopefully. All right, next up, this is going to be the toughest one again. Best community assist. So, so a card that not just with our group, but somebody in the community or a lot of people in the community worked to help you get. So who's got one handy and ready to go? Did everybody have one?
I got one ready.
Yeah.
Well, I cheated.
Don't worry, Mitch. At least we'll see the card well, man. Don't worry. I know. It's all right. Kelvin, you want to get us started on this one?
Sure. Okay, so kind of. I mean, I didn't cheat. I mean, it was a member of the community that gave this up. So he had this saved for me for since I think the beginning of the year, and we recently made a deal at the last expo. And to get this card, I had to curate like a bunch of Birder autos over the course of this year. like Tim sent me a bunch, and I'm sure a bunch of you guys sent me some, and then made the trade, and then the card is the
Nice.
Golden Treasures 1-of-1. And it was from Super Cool Cardboard, who was very easy to work with, and I'm thankful that he saved this card for me on the side, because it did take a while. Because I think he mentioned to me like beginning of this year, so it was nice that he held on for that long, and super happy. And I do have the complete rainbow, but I have to wait for ComC to send the other cards before I complete it.
Yeah, that's sick. I mean, to see something come full circle like that from that long ago. I mean, so again, Reed had talked about somebody backing out. Not that this guy would do that, and he's a really good dude. But if one of us said, "Yeah, I'll hold on to that till the end of the year," and somebody comes along with like a humongous offer, we know people who would probably do that and take the offer. So I mean, to stick to his word for so long, it's awesome. That's really cool, and that card is pretty cool as well, man. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to top that next year, but I hope you do. Logan, would you like to go next?
Sure. I made a trade this year with 5 whole cards for a Woody. I haven't seen these often, but he was a big Avs fan, and I was happy to trade a few Avalanche cards around the Stanley Cup. And I passed on the Woody when it was on eBay, and then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I'll go back with it. And when I finally got it, I was really amazed on just the quality and how detailed it was.
That's awesome, dude. And those are those similar to, although they're color, are they similar to those ingrained cards, the carved in time, or what? Can't remember what they're called. Is that it?
Yeah, but the carved in times are actually carved.
Okay.
Where that's more just painted on cardboard or painted on plank or whatever.
Okay. All right. Still cool though, man. I love seeing different materials used for cards. So that's great. Mitch, what you got?
All right.
Tell us about it, dude.
Let it speak for itself.
Yeah. Right.
So, my buddy Chris, who's CBCK99 on Instagram, he used to try to do this set. He gave up on it, but then he'd buy more sometimes. And then this one he had on eBay for a while, and then I helped him get a card that he collects Mika Kiprusoff. So I got him a really nice Mika Kiprusoff card at the Expo. And then he was like, tell you what, if you want, throw in, I'm not going to say how much cash I threw into the envelope when I sent him the Kiprusoff, but it was way less than it should have been. And then he's like, if you do that, I'll send you the Lemieux. And that was a huge assist because it's probably not a card I'd ever pay market value for, but super stoked to have it. It has some puck mark on it, and I love this card. I mean, for a lot of people, it's one of their favorite years for limited logos. So definitely super happy with that one. Shout out to Chris.
That's pretty big.
Very cool. Awesome. Tim, go for it,
So
dude.
for me, like I said before, I sort of cheated. I'm doing a 2-for-1 over here. But for me, it could also be sentimental too. A lot of these, when we were doing this, a lot of cards sort of fell into multiple categories. So, Kelvin, Mitch, Alex, they all went to the Expo, Toronto Expo. I couldn't go, but they had their eyes open for me. But over here, I have 2 cards. Oh, here we go. So I have over here, I have Philip Forsberg's Young Gun printing plate, 1-of-1. And Alexander Barkov's SPX rookie year jersey numbered patch 16/25. And for me not being there and them having their eyes open for me and seeing these pretty 2 big cards, one being jersey numbered, and you guys know how I love my jersey numbered stuff, and then just to find a printing plate Young Gun 1-of-1, I mean, those are 2 big cards in my opinion. So I think that has to be hands down the best assist of the year for me. And it came from the Expo. So that's why I chose these 2.
Very nice. Awesome. That's great, man. Especially people looking out at the Expo is what it's all about. I had to go that route with mine too. And this, not a people pinnacle, especially Kelvin. You were telling me these were like what, $30 a box at one point. They got down to, right? Like nobody was buying Pinnacle because it was kind of a cheap release,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I was at Walmart. I remember seeing like a hobby box at Walmart, and I'm like, what? What is this? What is this doing here?
Well, I mean, you think about that too. Again, Panini was hard to get a good. I mean, it was just hard to get good cards, and to think that this incredible patch came out of that product is just crazy enough in its own right. And then Kelvin, you know, in the midst of me coaching him at the expo, hitting up 50 million tables, he goes, "Hey, you want this patch?" I'm like, "Yes, that's a great price, thanks." And when I got it, it surprised both of us. Like Kelvin goes, "I don't even remember it being that nice," but it really. It's an amazing card, and yeah, I mean, can't thank you and Mitch and Alex enough for, you know, checking the floor for Flurry stuff while you were there. I think I know how crazy it is to go to a card show. We all do, and to be able to think about everybody's wants that they're looking for, and not only be looking for those, but looking for yourself. I could have shown probably 30 different cards for this category, but that was one that recently stuck out to me because I don't know if I would ever buy it on eBay for that price, but the fact that you found it, I was like, oh yeah, like this is perfect. So it was an easy choice for me. Reed, were you having the same trouble as I was and the rest of us, like trying to pick one? Because I'm guessing a lot of people send you J-Rob stuff, right?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I picked out one that someone actually didn't send me, but so the jersey number Premier RPA. I don't know if you can see the number, but yeah, this is jersey number. Probably one of my favorite cards I have.
Great patch too.
Yeah, it's gross. Like the first week Premiere came out, I was, I'm trolling the save searches as all y'all do, and that popped up, and I didn't have the money at the time, and I sent it to my buddy, and I was like, damn, this is sick. And he's just like, I'll buy it. He just like snap binned it, and then my buddy, I got a shout out HG Sports Cards too on Instagram. Hunter, he's a good friend in St. Louis, and he just held on to it. He fought off some pretty big offers for it, and then just let me pick it up off of him once I had the money. I had pulled a Stulsa Seismic Gold auto from Platinum, and it came back at 10. So that was how I freed up the money for that thing.
Awesome.
So shipped that off and got that. It was pretty cool of him. I'm still super grateful for that. So
can you show it one more time for us in case
Yeah.
people missed it? Yeah. Oof.
So nice.
jersey number.
I know Premiere was really tough on people. The price was really high, but man,
Yeah.
some of those cards look so nice.
Yeah,
They
like
look so
I
nice.
think this is the best looking Premier patch autos that have existed. Personally, I think the design is like perfect.
Mhm.
And from the preview of the Cup RPA, I until I see it in hand, I like that better. I think they look better. So.
Right. I just wanted to throw this out there. A couple things. Yes, the bro love is in full effect right now. And then, yes, of course, I feel like Kelvin, didn't you help him? You helped him find something he didn't have, right?
Yeah, it was Chichu International Foil, I believe it was.
Yeah, he posted something like that recently. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I don't know how you're able to keep track of all that, man. Let alone finding a Leland Irving, but that's a side note. Yeah, awesome patch for sure. Okay, we are moving along nicely here. I'm enjoying this, seeing all these cards. Let's go to number 4. This would be the easiest. This is like the cakewalk category. Most expensive purchase. So, Logan, do you have yours in front of you? Ready? I'm going to have you start this one off for us.
Okay. My most expensive purchase this year was the Exquisite Patch Auto.
Ooh.
It's 4-color, numbered out 25. I've been looking at this for a while and freed up some funds and found a patch I really liked. I wanted something with 4 colors. I liked the design. That's what I wanted, and I'm glad I could get it. There's also another one on eBay right now. Better, more red than everything else, but I'm just gonna be happy about that. So,
well, you are a very big supporter of the Exquisite sets, and I remember when I got my Flurry, and I was like, I don't know if I should pay this much. You're like, no, you should buy it. And when Logan says to buy something, when it's a decent, like higher price, you know that it's like, okay, I need to get this card. So I'm glad that you were able to track one down, because I know you've been looking for that one for a while. That's sick. Yeah, those Blackhawk patches are insane. When I saw SP Game Use coming out, I'm like, if Fleury has a Blackhawks patch, this is going to be crazy, because you can get the feathers in there and all that stuff. It's wild, man. All right, let's go to. All right, I'm going to pick somebody random. You ready? Tim, you want to go next?
Yep, I got it.
All right, go for it.
So, nope, for me, it is the Alexander Barkov Titanium Rookie out of 2, the draft
Awesome.
position. And I'm not going to say how much I put in for value for it, but it was a deal it was a 3-way deal between myself, Brady, and a guy from Kijiji, so the Canadian equivalent of Craigslist, that I got that card from, and it is by far the most expensive card I've ever had to put up for in my collection. And I'm really happy to have it. I had to give away a little bit of Datsu because, it's involving Brady, so it has to involve Datsu. But I think I make that trade 100 times out of 100. I'm really happy to have that.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, we were all really stoked. I mean, we know how much you like that set, and for you to get a card out of 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's like impossible for the most part nowadays, especially from Panini. So, yeah, that's sick. Awesome card. All right, I'm going to go next because I'm going to have Kelvin follow me, because this was the order that we picked these cards up. I have a pretty good idea which one he's going to show. So I'm going to show mine first because I got mine first, and that is this one of Mr. Flower, and it's the green, and it's the 8, and that whole night was just, I don't think I've ever been so nervous to bid on an auction. But I knew if I didn't win that one, which is the highest graded copy from any company, as far as I know, there are some 7s and 6s, that I would not have another chance at one again. So, it was amazing to have a chance to get a green. I think we all would love to have a green of our player if that's how you collect. So yeah, really, really stoked to have probably one of the more significant cards that Marc-Andre has, and excited for him to be hopefully in metal this year. That would be great. So to follow that, Kelvin, would you like to go next?
Sure. Yeah. So in that auction, I initially did lose it, but the person who did have it ended up selling it. It was What the Beak 99, and Matt helped assist because I was trying to wire him money through bank. I was having some trouble, and then Matt came in to save the day, and it was the 1-of-1 masterpiece, and this completes all the serial number cards Broder has in 1213 Clear Retro.
Wow.
Man, that's amazing.
And I don't remember. Do you remember how much? I don't remember. I don't mind sharing, but I just don't remember. It was like 15. I think it's like the most expensive card I ever paid. This is my first 4-digit card.
I thought it was less. I thought it was closer to 12.
I don't remember. Maybe somewhere in between. I don't know. I don't remember that.
I think it was Canadian. You're right. I think US. I'm thinking US. I think it was a bit lower, but no, that was awesome to see it. And he was really cool. He's should we share who it was from? Because he has.
Yeah, I mentioned. What the Beak 99.
What the Beak. Okay. Yeah. Super cool, that dude. All right. So who do we got left? We've got Mitch and Reed. Rock, paper, scissors. Reed, I'll have you go next, and then Mitch can finish it off for good reason here.
Alrighty. My most expensive was my double, my second Future Prop Auto Black. I didn't plan on picking up 2 of these, but for me, the auto on that one is just absolutely perfect. So I was just like, I have to. I paid pretty strong for it. So I paid more than I paid for the first copy.
Now, can I just ask, because we kind of talked about this mentality last episode about, there's 10 of a certain card, buying as many of the same card as you can. What was your mentality on buying a second one? Was it because it's your favorite card of him, or are you thinking trading it down the road, or like what was your idea with picking up a second?
I think it was a combination of a few things. Like, the only reason I didn't necessarily initially plan on picking up a double is because of how expensive they were, and just it's a lot to put in for that one, and maybe I could diversify on some other stuff. But like, I thought it was really cool having 2 of them because I don't think many people have 2 Future Watch Blacks of any player of stature, really.
Mhm.
You know, like there's the people that have like 5 of like a cheap player, but so I thought that was cool. And then like kind of in combination with that, being able to trade one down there. Like I actually have this one on eBay right now, trying to capitalize a little bit on the. I think I listed a little late, but I'm trying to capitalize on the J-Rob craze a little bit right now, so I can have some more money for the cup because I'm not going to be able to afford anything now based on how he's playing. So
Right. No, for sure. Well, and I know I'm trying to think here. No, he already has Meta Universe stuff, right? Isn't that his year? Okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? I don't know. They're so far behind on some stuff. I can't remember
Yeah.
what rookie classes are in what anymore. So,
yeah,
um,
I've talked to the guy with the retro gold 101, but he wants a lot more than I'd want to pay. I kind of got close with him, and that definitely would have taken the number 1 spot, but just with I would only be comfortable paying close to what he wanted after I have a shot at all the cup stuff. I can't destroy all my funds right before the cup comes out, you know.
Right. Awesome. All right, Mitch, cap it off for us, dude.
So, I actually don't know if this is the card that you guys are expecting, but because I think a lot of people are surprised at how expensive these are. So I'll show it first.
Wow.
So that is the 0607 The Cup signature patches of Gordie Howe. And for those that don't know, it's a set I'm almost done putting together. I need 4 more cards. And that one's definitely the most expensive because that's the only year of the Cup where Gordie Howe has Red Wings patch autographs. I've just gone out of focus again. But so there's just the signature patch out of 25. There's an honorable numbers out of 9 and a limited logos out of 10. And then outside of that, if you want a Cup Red Wings patch autograph, you're out of luck. He does have a couple other Red Wings patch autographs in Dominion. He has 3 Peerless patches out of 5, or only 2 of them are Red Wings. One of them is Whalers. So if you want a game-used Red Wings Howe patch autograph card, there's so few of them. I mean, they're almost impossible to find. So that was my biggest purchase I've ever made. But I had to get it for the set because it used to go for a lot less. I agree, Al. And it took me a while after the card boom to accept like what the going rate was for this card, because I'll tell you, like before COVID, it was like a $600 to $800 card, and then I'll tell you guys what I mean. So there were 3 comps of $3,000 USD before I bought mine, and the first time I saw it listed, or so it wasn't listed, but someone asked 3,000 for it. I was like, that's insane. And then I saw like 2 more after that also sell for $3,000. So I paid $3,200 for mine, but I'm just happy to have it. To me, it's like a historical piece, so I'm just happy to have it.
That's awesome, dude. Well, especially just completing or going towards a set completion, or it kind of fits right in there. Sometimes the amount, you can't get too caught up on it when it's a person like Gordie Howe or Gretzky or those high caliber guys. We were probably all expecting the Patrick Waugh, weren't we?
I was.
That was the first thing I thought of. I love this. I love Alex. I want all of these cards. And then you got somebody who's after your Barkov. Watch out there, Tim. He's probably not the only one. And then some dude named Bobby Burrows. I don't know who this guy is, but welcome. But yeah, so that's awesome. I was not expecting that, Mitch. Thanks for the surprise.
And can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that Mitch is building up a pretty insane Red Wings collection. A little sidekick going on there, Mitch.
That's right.
Family's from Detroit.
Right.
Yeah. A little bit more sentimental than most of the other ones, huh?
I think he should take my username. He's earned it.
Yeah. just swap. I don't know. Can you carry the Groupman?
I will try my best, but I will actually.
Groupman.
So this next category is for any of you people who love the visual side of collecting. This is going to be for you. So, most beautiful purchase of the year. And Mitch, since you were in the driver's seat, not only did you end the last round, but you get to start this one for us. So go for it. Do you want me to find somebody else while you're looking?
No, I can do it. So I'm torn. All right, I'll just show the card that you guys thought I was about to show.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the Patrick Waugh 0607 the Cup 1/1 base patch autograph. Kind of a headache in getting this card. It was listed, and then I bought it because it was a very low price, and then the seller told me they mislisted it, and then the guy who can sign through them, he sold it to me for more than that price, but I wanted the card so bad at that point that I paid up for it anyway.
Right.
But that's the second most expensive card that I bought this year. But I that's just one of those cards. Every time I pull it out, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I have that card.
What makes it such a beautiful card for you? You've talked about that set before, but what is it about that card that makes it?
Yeah, so I just love the first 2 years of the Cup, they made most of the designs look like the metal from the Cup, and the way that they kind of like wrap the rings around it is super cool to me. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of it is just nostalgia of remembering when this product came out and thinking like these are like the top cards besides the shields that you can get out of the product. So they were always out of reach as a kid. And so this is one of the best players in the set. So to be able to get this card, I like the full body image too of Watt. Even though it's one color, the Avalanche has like, I don't know if it comes out, but they have like a zigzag design. So I actually think it's very cool looking. I don't mind that it's one color technically. I think the autograph looks great. I love the design. I think the actual, because there's no other color on the card besides Patrick Waugh, I think he really pops. They actually, I don't know if you guys can tell, they actually make the background black and white, which I think makes the player really pop. So for me, it's a beautiful card.
Awesome. Great choice. I just think it's a great chance for everybody to talk a little bit about why they think it's such a beautiful card. I don't know why, but I think artistically I've always found cards that kind of look like they've been handmade, hand painted or whatever. Like they just really stand out. And when I laid my eyes on this from somebody else's collection, I was like, I really hope I can find one someday. And the Fanimations are awesome. I mean, I know right now the way they're doing them, maybe not as great as some of the earlier ones like this, but for me, this card is beautiful every single time I look at it. They chose the perfect background. They've got a great picture of them. Like you said, Mitch, full body shot. It's not just a zoom in of the head. Shows the gear. I can't find anything I don't love about this card. So when it comes to beauty, sure, all the seismic golds and the refractors and all that stuff is great, but this card is artistically one of my favorites that I've ever owned. So I had to pick that one. So great choice there. Let's go, Tim. You want to go next? Most beautiful edition of the year?
Sure. So right here I have Teuvo Teravainen's, I think it's the Ultraviolet Medallion 1/1 rookie. It's not coming through the best through the camera, but in person, the way that the hologram just flares out in different aspects depending on how you rotate it, I think I'm biased because it's like literally right in my hand. I have it in my collection, but it's just one of the most beautiful looking cards I think in my entire collection. It's one thing to talk about like rarity and things like that, but if you take away the 1/1 tag and you just put it up against others design wise, aesthetics wise, it is, in my opinion, the most beautiful card in my entire collection.
I am trying to find a picture of it here. I think it's quite a ways down, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's within March of this year, so you're gonna have to scroll a little bit downward.
Okay.
But it shouldn't be too far down.
Yeah, I'll keep looking here real quick. When I get it up, I'll pull it up here in a minute. But yeah, no, those 1/1s are incredible from that year. I can't remember who I saw first, but that purple just looks so sick. I mean, the ice medallions out of '99 are incredible from that set. let alone the 101. So, yeah, very nice. Reed, would you like to hop in and go next?
Yep.
And then we'll have Logan
sure.
after that, and then Kelvin, you get to wrap it up for us.
Sounds good.
For sure. So I originally was gonna just double dip on the Future Watch Auto Black, but I scrambled and I'll mix it up. So let's see. I'm gonna turn my see if I can get my light on here for a second. Get the see if we can get the shininess to come through. I decided to go with the retro rubies.
Oh,
It's like
they're so
just
nice.
like look at it.
Oh,
Just
wow.
like when that thing hits the light, it's like, I mean, I think the light's actually probably blown it out a little bit now, but it's just like the color and like the reflection in there is so sick. Like these things, I think are one of the most underrated cards a player can have. Like when you get, because when the pictures online, they look horrible. When you get them in person, they look unreal. And
Yeah.
the 101 versions of these, it's like a silver, like a white background with the rainbow like cell refractor. They're so crazy. I bought one of Liam Foodie just because I loved how the refractor looked. Like,
Right.
yeah, they're so sick.
Well, I think Kelvin had purchased one. Didn't you have the same card? You have a J-Rob?
No, I have the regular one. I don't have I want the retro one, but I only have the regular one.
Oh, okay. Well, even that one, I was like, I need to go get an Ottinger of that card. That thing is incredible, you know, and it was just too expensive already. But yeah, that's a beautiful card, Reed.
Yeah, I have the Ottinger retro too. I had to snag that one
Wow.
pretty
Good
early.
choice.
They're so sick.
Before Logan goes, I do want to show that card that Tim showed here. He does have a really good picture of it. I mean, that card, Tim. Just, oh my goodness. Wow. I mean, this card and the one that Reed just showed, I mean, they're those type of cards that look different depending on the angle of the light, the intensity of the light.
Yep.
Those are just as beautiful and fun to look at. You know, when the light's hitting it at a really steep angle, straight down. I mean, it's awesome. I love when Upper Deck does that kind of stuff. So, great choices. All right, Logan.
Okay, so I think earlier in the year, Tim had posted a Huberto one. And this is I'm not sure, I think it was purple one actually, but this is what I'm going to go with. Totally certified gold.
Yeah.
Out of 5. Oh,
That's sick.
That's nice, man.
Good choice.
Yeah, it ended up getting a trade, and I don't know, I enjoy it. It's a nice looking card. I do like that it's I don't know. I feel like it's more reflective than a lot of the rainbows and the refractors that you see in OpenG Platinum.
Those look incredible from that set. I don't know how hard they were to pull out of boxes, but man, the mirrors look unbelievable. And yeah, I would say that's probably the card I'm most jealous of in this whole show so far. So
Same.
yeah, that's one I don't know if I'll ever see a flurry, but that's beautiful. The dogs are jealous too, if you guys can tell. So I'm going to mute myself. Kelvin, you want to wrap this up for us?
Sure thing. So this card was on my want list for a very long time. It's from 13-14. I took like a long break and then was able to acquire this one. Interesting enough, I traded a lot of Pokemon cards for this actually. It was super cool cardboard. Him and his son were getting into Pokemon, so then I gave him a ton for this one card, and it is the I don't know if I'll capture it.
Oh yeah.
It's the 13-14 Clear Showcase Sparkling Diamond out of 5.
Wow.
And yeah, it is like I knew it was going to be really nice and shiny, but like in person, like it is insane. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, that's a good picture of it. Look at that.
That card is absolutely incredible, man. Seriously. Wow. That was probably another slam dunk choice for you, right? I imagine it was like most beautiful card. That was probably like the first choice in your head and hard to beat.
Yeah, for sure. And it was actually like before we made categories, when I was doing like just a general top 10, I was like, this actually was in 4th. So like it was actually really tough. I was like any other year, this would be like a top 2 card, but that's how you know this year was pretty good.
Man. Awesome, man. Those are some amazing choices, fellas. Well, I think if we stopped right now, everybody would already be spent. So this is just bonus material here. This one I think was pretty tough for a lot of us because inexpensive can mean different things. For Jason Robertson, inexpensive could be 200. For me, it could be 10. For somebody else, Tim, it could be 5 or 20. But I'm curious. Number 6 is an inexpensive but very significant addition. So yeah, Mitch, those are not my dogs. Those are my landlord's dogs, and they keep me safe from bears. So maybe a bear is outside. Don't know. Hopefully not. But yeah. Anyways, who would like to go first here? We'll go with hands on this one.
All right, Reed.
Reed wants to go first. All right, go for it.
My first non-J-Rob. I know it's pretty crazy. It's the Marty Turco honorable numbers from 06-07 the Cup. Really nice patch.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first ever card show I ever went to when I started getting into the hobby. My first ever card show pickup. It was just like first time negotiating with somebody in person. Just like a really cool, like special pickup. I paid I think $45-50 for it. And Turco's my favorite goalie for the Stars, so I was like, it's a no-brainer. And I love this card. It's perfect. He's wearing the best Stars jersey that ever existed. Like patches are great. Like there's nothing. I'd really want more from this card. I love it.
Well, we have somebody else who likes that set a lot in here, and Mitch and I have actually talked about just how nice the foil around the numbers looks. I mean, there's some really, like, a lot of time went into the design of that more than some of the honorable numbers cards. Now they still look great, but yeah, I mean, just it's hard.
One up Mitch at it again.
Yeah, I don't know if that one up. I'm a goalie fan, so we're gonna give yours the slight edge on that. But no, that's awesome, dude. Very cool. I'm sorry, Mitch, your camera's blurry. We can't see it. My bad. And then yes, name is on this. He's been telling me for years that I'm gonna see it one of these days. So hopefully that doesn't happen. All right, Tim, you want to go next, and then we'll go from there.
We can, but I have a card ending in 2 minutes.
Okay, so who's got one handy? Logan.
True collector.
Yeah. Logan, you want to hit the mute button real quick? Unmute yourself. Thank you. Back to the teaching online days, huh?
Yeah, of course. But he was at a card show. He stumbled across just a regular jersey card from National Treasures, but it's numbered 88 out of 99.
Nice.
And he says he wants 40 for it. I was like, ask him for 30. And sure enough, got it for $30. But I don't know. I've seen these many times before, but the big part about it was they really haven't pushed me at the edge to buy one. So, hey, $30 for a jersey number, and I won't complain. So,
I don't know about you guys, but I think the white jersey piece actually looks really cool within the design of that card, as opposed to it being like red or something. I feel like it would really stand out. Like almost kind of looks all nice together like that. And I'm sure Tim started drooling when he saw the 88 out of 99 on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So
you already know
number fan. All right, Tim, you want to go next, and then we'll get Kelvin and everybody else after.
You got it. So look, before I even start, I'm 1 for 2 tonight. I lost one big auction on the Kreider Titanium, but it's okay. And I just miraculously won Teravainen and jersey numbered rookie. But literally, I was looking at my computer screen and it said 2 minutes. I'm like, okay, that's why I told you I have 2 minutes. And then when I went to look again and move my mouse, my computer is frozen. So I go to the app, and when I click on the app on my phone, it said 2 seconds left. I scrambled to press like the preset bid numbers, and I won for $2. But just the timing of it all was ridiculous.
Oh my god!
But back to topic though. I do have. I cheated again, Matt. I'm sorry. I cheated so many times. I'm choosing 2 cards. Over here, let's see if I can get them in the frame. I have Daniel Sedin's rookie year. I mean, it all depends on how you want to interpret it with these players in particular. Like you have the LeCavalier, Thornton, Luongo, where the Black Diamond rookies are considered like their main desirable ones. But for me, I have right here the Be a Player Signature Series Emerald out of 10 from 2000-2001. so their NHL rookie year, which is important to me. And I have the Be a Player memorabilia emerald out of 10 as well.
Wow.
And for these, I bought these for I think under $20 each. And so for me to have these in my PC, I love Be a Player from the early days. I love emeralds. I try to chase them down for any of my PC players. So to get those two out the way, especially since I'm starting a Sedin PC, so I'm putting it out there, guys, for the world to see here. I'm starting a Sedin PC, so to have these two knocked out the way, that makes me happy, you know?
Heck yeah, man. Well, and congrats on another PC. It's a good thing you don't have too many to keep track of, because that would definitely be frustrating. But no, that's awesome, man. Yep.
Yep.
Yes, it is. For those of us that don't use a sniping tool, yes, it is. I do not use sniping stuff ever. And I paid the price probably twice, but I don't know about you guys if you use them, but I like to be there at the end of the auction.
Same.
So,
Yeah.
awesome.
Part of the fun.
Okay, so we've got Kelvin, Mitch, and myself left on this one. Kelvin, you want to go, and then Mitch, and then I can finish it up super quick.
Sure. So this one I know Tim will appreciate. I don't remember this was in a trade, but it was barely affordable. This is the. I'm not too big on jersey numbers, but I thought this was cool.
Yes.
This is 1314 titanium jersey numbered, and it's numbered, folks, as 30 out of 30.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I love this set, and then yeah, just super nice and shiny, and it being the double jersey number is a little cherry on top. So.
Very nice. Very nice, dude. I'm really glad because I had that as my second choice for this category. So I'm glad I didn't grab like literally the same card. That would have been hilarious. That's awesome, man. How much did you say? $20?
No, I don't remember. It was from a trade, but it wasn't. I mean, it was whatever the trade was. Like it was. I was like, okay, this is definitely worth it.
Like way worth it.
For sure.
Gotcha. Mitch, what about you, dude?
So for me, a little backstory on this card, but I'll show it. It's Jason Spezza, 0506, the Cup signature patches. And this is a set that I finished almost a decade ago. And one thing about old Upper Deck sets is that they often would release cards in the set that were not on the checklist. So I assumed that I had found all of the cards that weren't on the checklist, there were 5 of them. And then I found this card, and my friend Eugene, what's his Instagram? Latanger58, I think. So he's like, do you need this one? Is this an upgrade for you? And I just like kind of glanced. I'm like, no, I don't think that's an upgrade for me. And then like I went back and I'm like, what does mine look like? And then I looked and I didn't have the card, and it's not. So I don't know how many there are. I mean, there have to be like under 5 copies of this card. So I found one, and I was just so happy to get it. I hope there are no more cards from that set that I don't have. I mean, I've looked like constantly for like 15 years, so hopefully I've seen them all. But I was just happy to officially complete the set, I guess, a decade later.
Well, I have a couple questions. First, that came out in when again? 2005-06, right?
Yeah, June 30th, 2006.
Well, and yeah, this is my first question. Would you be surprised if you found another player that you didn't know existed?
I would be surprised. Yeah.
You would. Okay. So how did they? Because nowadays, obviously, we go to Cardboard Commotion or whatever the heck it's called, and find the checklist or Beckett or whatever. What was the method of finding the official checklist way back then? Same thing? Was it online or?
Beckett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like on Beckett.com, they would release checklists.
Well, at that time, every month I would buy the new Beckett catalog, and then I would look at it. So that was how I did. A lot of companies also used to actually put physical checklists in boxes.
Right.
I remember like a lot of the early like playoff products, they would put that in there because they wouldn't put the names on the redemptions, it would just say you're going to get an autograph for card number 108 or
Yeah.
something. You had to pull out the checklist and go to 108 and then to like find out who the autograph was. So I mean, they didn't do that for the cup, obviously, but there were a couple of different ways of getting checklists back then. But for the most part, Beckett I found to be the most reliable way to get the checklist. I actually I found the Upper Deck's website ironically like wasn't as good as Beckett for being complete on their checklist.
Right. Interesting. And Paul, what's up? That is Collect de Oil, I think, is how I say it correctly. Paul posts a lot of really cool Oilers stuff on his account, so nice to see you, Paul. Yeah, that's wild, because nowadays I feel like digitally we on those websites, the official checklists come out and they leave off Easter eggs and stuff, but you wouldn't see that nowadays. I wouldn't think where a card that's not supposed to be in there is in there. But that's some of the fun of it, the surprise of it for you. So yeah, real quick, I mean, I have this card because of Kelvin. We can all agree that we probably bought cards after our friends posted them and we're like, oh, now I got to add that to my want list. But I was like, oh, well, this card will probably not show up anytime soon. And my favorite number is 3. So whenever I get the 3 serial number, it's cool. But it came up for like, I think $20. And I was just like, oh my gosh, yes. Love that setup. It's my favorite setup he wore with the Reebok pads with extra stripes on them and that mask. And to get that, the players clubs, if any of you collect, be a player, those players clubs are really, really tough to find of anybody. So that was probably the best cheap edition of the year. And I always come back to that card when I'm looking through my scans. It's awesome. All right, let's go to number 6. Wait, or is it 7? I can't remember. 7. Thank you. All right, best looking patch. We can speed it up just a little bit, but let's show our best patch. And it can have an auto, up to you, but the patch is what's the nicest thing of the card. Is there anybody that has not started a round of showing things off? I think everybody's had a chance, right? Yeah. Logan, have you gone first yet? Yeah, no. All right, you get to go first today. Go this time. Go for it.
Well, I haven't really bought too many patches, but just an exquisite patch, numbered out of 25, is what I'm going to have to choose here, 2019-20. I don't know. They're really nice designs. I've been trying after this guy from Canada has it. He speaks French. Can't get through to him. He has one that's numbered out of 3. And so I'm just going to let it walk, let it sit for a bit, and we'll see if we get it. But for the most part, that's the only patch I really end up picking up this year.
Dude, nice thing about exquisite cards, even if the patch is all right, like the design is so sick to begin with, like the card's already going to look great. So that's good. Let's go to Kelvin next.
Sure. So this is from the expo, from a trade with Super Cool Cardboard. It is the fabric of the game. I think this is from like the end of the Devil Tail. If it's like backwards like this, I think it is, and it's out of 10.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm not a big patch guy, but I love certified. So this was probably my. Actually, no, I picked up a few. I lied. There's a few patch cards, but it's definitely the favorite one.
We know, and Kelvin, you've mentioned that you're very specific with your patches and your autos that you grab. So that's, I'm glad you're able to find one. Mitch, go for it, dude. What was your nicest patch card, do you think?
You're
Hold
muted.
on. Mitch, you're muted.
So as a Panthers fan, in my opinion, this card is the best Panthers limited logo that's been made. So it's Jaromir Jagr, and it's the full Panther nose. So for me, that's huge. So super happy to own this. There's a guy on Instagram that's been trying really hard to pry it off of me. I don't really want to give it up, but so just happy. Even though I don't normally collect newer cup cards, that one I had to get.
Very nice. Awesome, dude. Reed, how about you, bud? And then we'll go Tim after that.
Yep. You'll like this one. It's a goalie card. It's a Jake Ottinger Ultimate Jumbo Patch. Rookie Jumbo Patch.
Oh man.
Yeah. That auction was stressful when this came up. My bid was a lot higher than it went for, so I was pretty happy about that. So, and I got a Jamie Benn limited logos. I think y'all saw that recently with the same patch, but got to go with Otter. It's a rookie, so out of 15.
That's got to be like, as a Stars fan, that's got to be like your ultimate patch to have on a card, right?
That's the top patch. Like any 101 patch auto pretty much has that patch. So like to be able to get it in because Ultimate Jumbo is pretty much the only thing you'll get that patch that's not a 101. So I was pretty stoked to get that.
Awesome.
So.
Dang, that's my favorite Ottinger that you own now. I don't know if you're gonna be able to.
It's mine too. It's my favorite Ottinger too. So.
That is sick. All right, Tim. What about you? What was the nicest patch card you got this year?
So for me, it would be Vladimir Tarasenko's Hot Prospects White Hot RPA out of 3.
Wow.
When I was doing this whole top 10, I just realized like I don't buy many patch cards. So for me, this might be like one of the best patch cards I own in my collection. And I think, with the Blues uniform, it does have a lot of breaks, quite a bit of color. And with it being out of 3, that's the cherry on top for me. So that would be my pick for this one.
Okay, awesome. Very, very nice. I have to admit, I had the Black Diamond quad patch auto pulled up, and then Reed, I got to give you a big shout out. You reminded me that if I didn't show this card, I'd be very upset with myself. How can I not pick this as the best patch card that I've bought this year? I mean, it's being stared at by the penguin eye, and for the price that it came at, was easy to pick this one. So I think as a Penguins fan, having the skate is nice, but having the eyeball is pretty sick from the Penguins. So, yep, that's my choice. That was an upgrade, which allowed me to trade and sell for a little bit more and get three flurries from Chris that I didn't have. So it worked out. I got to give Kelvin a big shout out. He's always telling me to grab doubles so I can use them for trade bait. So it paid off big time. So thanks for that, dude. Awesome. That was a fun category. No Supreme patches were shown, which is somewhat surprising because I feel like that would be the easy slam dunk category for those cards, but not today. Next up, we got our best autograph edition. So Reed, let's have you start off. We'll do the original rotation. So Reed, best autograph.
Right. So I was originally going to go again with that Future Watch Auto Black that I bought just because I loved how the auto looked, but last thing I scrambled and I decided to mix it up. I got a Chris Weidman in-person auto because he came to our local card shop because he's from the St. Louis area. The owner of the card shop, my buddy Devin, he paid him to come out and hang out for our we did like a hockey trade day, and he was like the nicest guy ever, and I got to I taught him about I got to kind of teach him about the hobby. He was super interested in how it all worked because if you don't know anything about it, they're like, what, you open boxes and all that. It's like he thought it was really cool, and his auto is really nice too. So it's a cool memory and a free card. I didn't pay anything for it. So
right. Well, that could have been number 1 too, most sentimental card too.
Yeah.
I think that would have been easy to put that in that category.
Yeah.
All right. Kelvin, you want to go after me here because Kelvin knows the pain of not winning this card. Can we all agree that there's nothing sweeter? It sucks when you lose a really, really tough card, but then for it to come back and you get a second jab at it and you get it, that's one of the best feelings because it hurts to lose those big want list cards, and when I was able to get this card, I was so happy to be relieved to get it. I know there's a lot of set collectors after these. So when I still can't believe how much the first one sold for. I still can't believe it. But this came back around and I was so able to sell some stuff. And this is easily my favorite autograph that I got this year. So I think most people have players in this set, or you will if they're younger, but easy choice for me. What about you, Kelvin? Best autograph?
So I did trade away probably my favorite autograph, but that's all right because at the Expo I did upgrade. I traded in a couple Verter autos, and then I upgraded to this one, the Program of Excellence with Carey Price out of 5.
Nice.
Sick.
Yeah, and this is from 10-11.
Very nice. Those Canada uniforms and helmets look so sick.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
awesome,
nice.
dude. All right, Logan, want to go next?
Yeah, I think for the most part, my autograph that I thought was the Immaculate Collection out of 2012-13 basketball. And I don't know, this one stood out to me a lot because prior to COVID, I remember seeing it a lot on eBay, and I never gave it the time of the day. And eventually I was like, I haven't seen that card in a while. So finally went after it.
So that was put in a basketball release. Do they do like multiple sports within the basketball release there?
Yep.
Just for that subset.
Gosh, I'm just
That's so
drooling at
crazy.
the thought of immaculate hockey right now. Oh, that would be awesome with like some legends and stuff in there. All right, I better just stop daydreaming.
Yeah,
Get
check the
lost in that.
checklist because I know there's a Jonathan Quick on eBay right now.
Yeah. There's a Birders in as well. There's a one color patch one, but I didn't want it for one color patch, but I think I should just got just to have it.
Dude, that it just the design looks so nice, so nice. What were you saying, Mitch, about that? Did you have an idea or?
Yeah, I was just gonna say what's really cool about it is that a lot of the cards in the set were sticker autos, so it's nice that the Cade is actually on card. Like Gordie Howe's in the set with a Whalers patch, but it's a sticker autograph.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, yeah, this is exciting for Alex. I mean, we know how much he loves wrestling. To have Immaculate in your sport, I know they do it for baseball, kind of, but it's all not even game one stuff. So, and then of course, Name's gonna love that one with Carey Price on it. We know that for sure. All right, Mitch, what was your best autograph this year that you picked up?
So this card is from a subset of the cup that I've never owned. I never thought I'd ever have an opportunity to own it. There's one guy that has almost every card from the subset, like the entire print run. So this is from 05-06, the cup, the Stanley Cup titleists. I got Mike Bossy, numbered 4 out of 4. These are super rare, so they're numbered to how many cups that the player won. So Bossy won 4 cups in a row in the early 80s. So this was just such a cool card. When it was made available to me, I was like, I gotta have it. Bossy's like one of the few guys where I actually like particularly try to get their cards, and I love the design. It shows them holding the cup, and then there's like a little jersey swatch with the outline of the Stanley Cup, and then the signature, which is a beautiful signature in my opinion. So I just love the design of this card. Everything about it is awesome to me. There's some cards in the subset that don't have a jersey swatch, and then they re-released this with the exact same design with updates in 06-07 and 07-08. And then when they did it in 07-08, they actually put patch swatches instead of jersey swatches. So
Wow.
Just a super cool set. So just happy to have one card from it.
And you talked about that too when we were talking with Billy about how cool it is to do sets like that, and you'd like to see them go that route, more often. I hopefully they do, because they carry so much more sentimental value, especially if you're a lifelong Bossy fan or team fan, collector. Like those would carry a lot of weight in your collection, So that's a cool card, man. Love that.
Yeah, and I think the hobby has kind of shown Upper Deck that they want those like legacy sets. Like with Artifacts, they re-release the acetate cards. They reuse the designs a lot, and people go crazy for those cards. So I think we've kind of proven, hopefully, to Upper Deck that the hobby does want those legacy designs that are updated each year. So hopefully we see something like that again.
Right.
Agree.
That's a good question. I'm sure Mitch would know that.
Yeah,
Basically, who's won the most cups that has one?
John Belleville has the most.
Okay. Awesome. Good to see you, Jeff. Thanks for making it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm going to start this one off. This is the insert category. I made this one on purpose. Can't have an auto, can't have a patch on it. This was easily hands down best choice for me. I got a graded version, which again, Kelvin's like, just get the graded one. You can trade it, and then you can get the non-graded, which ended up selling it to help me get another card that I wanted. And then I got the raw one. Somebody put it in a Facebook sale, and I snagged it. And yeah, I just love that he made it into one of these sets, because I'm pretty convinced he will not make it in any modern ones unless they do it as a legacy, with players that have retired one day. But I love the Jambalaya designs. I've always enjoyed them, and the scan does not do this card justice. Any of you that have seen Jambalaya cards, you move them in the light, they've got this like depth to them that you can't show off in a scan. So, yep, I love tough inserts, and we had that debate, Mitch and I, last episode, that I'm like, we need more cased inserts, and Mitch goes, well, hockey collectors don't want those, whereas football collectors do, or basketball collectors. So I still like them, but yeah, you don't see them much anymore unless you're getting like an Easter egg type deal. So yeah, that was my choice for that one. Kelvin, what about you, dude? What was your best non-auto, non-patch card besides the ones you've shown already? Like the sparkling diamond is like the easiest choice, probably. But
Yeah, so I cheat on this one. So to follow up with yours, I also chose Jambalaya.
Nice.
So this is the 0910, and Berter only has 2, so he has these 2. So these completes the 2, and then I know Mitch will love this one, of course. Yeah. So
very
the
nice.
Bowman, and that completes this rainbow with the X factor and the regular factor in the base.
Awesome. Very nice. Dude, that gold, and you were talking about the gold has like a nice brighter gold finish to it than most gold cards do nowadays.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Very nice. Tim, what about you, bud?
All right, since you guys were showing Jambalaya, this wasn't my pick, but I might as well just show this for Jambalaya.
All right, everyone has to show a Jambalaya now, okay?
Yeah.
Nice.
But my pick for this one was a Datsu card, so Brady would appreciate this in spirit. This one is the Vanguard Rookie Red out of 38s. Datsu stuff is pretty hard to come by, especially the rarer rookies, which is basically what I'm down to now. So for me to have, I think it's his third most rare serial numbered card from his rookie year, because you have the Be a Player Emerald out of 10, then you have the Future Watch Gold out of 25, and then there's this. Actually, I'm lying. There's actually one more Bowman card out of 25, and then there's this. So this is the fourth most rarest. And I've been searching for this for a long time. And so for me to finally get it, it would be my best non-patch or non-auto pickup of the year.
Love some Pacific love, too. I know that's our first Pacific card, I think, that we've seen. But, yeah, when I was collecting Tebow, I loved chasing all those parallels down. Yeah. He was ahead. Mike and his company was ahead of the curve. I wish they could come back somehow. But awesome.
Same.
All right, I'm going to go to Mitch next. Mitch, your best non-auto patch card that you picked up this year, what would it be? I'm just going to let him go this time without saying anything.
Can you come back to me? I have to take the tape off the top loader.
Because that is a pet peeve. Get that thing off there. I'm going to throw it to Reed and then Logan, and then Mitch, you can finish up. Should give you enough time.
All right, Matt, do you mind pulling up the scan of this one? I feel like it would do it justice. But I got
I'll do it.
the Spectrum FX Future Watch 1 of 1. This is a new addition to SPA this year with the bounty. They did it where if you completed the first 50 people to complete the bounty, you got obviously the full gold set out of 50, but then you got 2 1 of 1s, 1 non-Future Watch and then a Future Watch. And I think the colors on that look, it just looks so sick. In the foil, if you get the light right, you can see it's like rainbow. So it's like that thing in person is so sweet. And a buddy of mine actually did the bounty, and he has the Kaprizov, which is absurd. It was pretty cool seeing those side by side at a show once. But yeah, I absolutely love that card. I think the black just like really makes the rest of the card pop, and 1 of 1 definitely cherry on top.
It's so nice.
Yeah, for me, I want to give kudos to Upper Deck on that, because for them to add those 2 1 of 1s in addition to the gold set out of 50, like anything to help make the collector give more incentive and more value for that, and especially with how beautiful these are, I think that was a home run decision on Upper Deck's part to include those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. No, that's incredible. I had forgotten about that one, if I'm being honest, that you had it. So that's awesome, dude. Logan, go ahead, and then Mitch you'll cap it off for us.
Perfect. I got 2. Number 1 is going to be the Kane PMG, and it's numbered 88 out of 100.
Oh, that's sick.
Was happy to find a guy that had it on EPAC, so I ended up buying that off of him. And then my other one is the exquisite 0304 gold retro, numbered out of 10. I ended up buying it at the beginning of the year, and I was like, it's actually in really good shape. Let's just send it in. Came back a 10. Pretty happy about it. So
Dang. Logan, you need to stop with all these jealousy cards, man. You're driving me nuts. No, it's one of those deals too. I mean, those exquisite. We've talked about them. Those retro throwback designs. They carry that, I don't know what you want to say, pizzazz of having like, oh yeah, I remember seeing a Jordan in that design and a Kobe in that design. And you're like, ooh, now I can get my player. So, yeah, that's my favorite out of those two for sure. Mitch, how about you? Were you able to get it figured out?
Yes, so I took the card out of the top loader because the top loader is kind of gross. But it is a Grant Fuhrer 9899 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor. But it's also we've been showing a lot of these, but this one's jersey numbered, 31 out of 100.
Let's go.
So the card by itself is like not like a huge card, but to find these jersey numbered, especially of the Hall of Famer guys, is extremely difficult. So I found this. I thought it was a great price, even though I'm not normally a 90s insert guy. I love Grant Fuhrer, and was super excited to pick this one up. I think it was cheaper because most people just like his Oilers stuff. It was a Blues card. But I don't care. So I'm happy to have it. It's a beautiful card.
I'm just surprised that Mitch went outside of the Ultimate and Cup realm. Like he actually went into the 90s a bit. Now, it's funny because I feel like, I don't know how long ago it was, Logan, probably this summer. You've been on an episode and you were showing some 90s stuff. You're like, I'm kind of discovering some different cards like Hasek and all these different guys. And for all of us that know the 90s or maybe don't, I mean, there's a lot of hidden gems in there. Obviously, everybody knows about the big boys, the platinum mirror golds and, some of those. But, I mean, there's some really cool cards if you go into Pacific and all that you can find. And so it's cool to see you kind of dipping your toes in the 90s realm because those cards are really, really nice. Now you're making me want to not get rid of my Tebow, dude.
Don't do it. Don't get rid of it.
What does it say? I picked up a Danny Markov Atomic. Those cards are unreal. Oh no. I better go take it down. All right. So the last category we have, I already knew. This was probably the first one I knew. Biggest surprise edition of 2022. And this, I guess this can be interpreted a few different ways, right? A card that you didn't think you would buy and you bought, or a card that you never thought would come available and you'd buy. That's how I looked at this category and thought about it both ways. So when you guys show your card, would you mind kind of explaining like what was surprising about it? Other than Tim going, well, I didn't think I'd start another PC, but here we are. So I'm going to throw it to you first, Tim. What was your biggest surprise edition?
Sure. So for me, I place a lot of value on like personal priority on my original PC players. Wow, original being that I have so many. But by original, I mean like Zetterberg, Nash, and Spezza. And for me, I have the Zetterberg Premier Rookie out of 15, which is basically like my first love or my first white whale that I really I got. I'm still looking for the Nash. Unfortunately, one sold earlier this year for a lot more than I thought it would. But then I found this one earlier this year, which is Spezza's Premier Rookie out of 15. And these do not show up often. And so for me to find one of these and my love for 0203 in general to have this, it was huge for me. It was a huge pickup for me, And also one little fun tidbit is that all 15 of these Spezza copies all feature a single color patch. There is no one of those 15 that have anything outside of a single color. So good luck finding anything because that does not exist. It's as good as it's gonna get. So yeah, just one little.
Is there somebody that owns all of them, Tim? All the rest of them, or something? Is that how you were able to track that information down?
Yeah, because I search for Spezza every day for like since 2012, and I have a little bit of an archive. That's what I do. I like to create a patch database archive for my main PC cards I want. And out of all that I've seen, and I think I've tracked down a fair amount, I think over half so far, each and every one has had single color. And I think I can pretty much say with good certainty that the remaining ones would also follow suit. And I think also another person who used to collect Spezza, he's on High. I forget his username, but he was one of the big Spezza collectors during like the early 2000s. I
Mhm.
think he also pretty much confirmed the same too.
Cool. That's cool to know that kind of stuff. Mitch, what do you think? What was the most surprising addition for you?
Yeah, so this one I got at the expo. I think I showed it off already before, but I think Kelvin was there when I bought it. So I got it at Jeremy's booth. He had just purchased a huge collection of Supreme patches, and I don't own any Supreme patches, so I was like, I'll take a look through them just to see like what they look like because a lot of them do look very cool. So I'm flipping through, and then I see this card, and it's a Supreme stick of Terry Sawchuk. Um, and I just never expected to find like an actual like jumbo mem of Sockchuck from Upper Deck. ITG has a lot of Sockchuck memorabilia, but to actually get an Upper Deck one, and so I don't want to like go on too long about it, but you can actually see it like it says N apostrophe S tool, and then so it's from Littman's Tool Shop in Detroit, Michigan, and what's really cool about it is that they processed all the equipment for the Red Wings until 1958, which means that I know that this stick was used in the first half of Sawchuk's career because in 1959 they switched to Olympia. Um, so I was kind of able to like date the stick too, which I thought was so cool. He
Yeah.
has so few game used mem cards that are licensed, or at least by Upper Deck. Yeah, I mean, it's so cool. He was probably the best goalie ever until like the big three, Hashikwa and Brodeur came about.
Mhm.
But he should still be in that conversation. He was so good. He played in so many different cup finals. He's a legendary goalie. He had a super interesting life too. So I was just so happy
Yeah.
that I was able to get a really nice card of his. I never
That's
expected to
awesome,
see
dude.
it.
And just looking at eras, I mean, for his era, hands down the best. I mean, I'm sure you could say Jacques Plant, but I
Yeah, a
feel
lot of
like,
people would say Plot,
yeah,
or Turk Broda.
yeah. I don't know. I'm seeing and learning about his life. I feel like, I mean, it's tough not to say him, but yeah, what an amazing card. That I hope that never leaves your collection just because it's got so much value outside of the money that you paid for it. So very cool, awesome card so far. Kelvin, what about you, dude? What biggest surprise of the year?
So I have this dumb goal of owning every Black Prism Broder has,
This
and
dumb goal.
it's so dumb. But I was at 2 out of 8. I'm like, okay, I'm probably not gonna see one for a couple of years. But lo and behold, this one came up. The
Yeah.
freezers 101. I got it from well, I saw it on eBay, and then I cross-referenced it. It was his name's Joe. He's JC Mint 01, I believe, on Instagram, and he has a crazy collection. And then yeah, we worked out a deal, and this puts me at 3 out of 8 Black Prism finite he has.
Nice. I'd say getting to half would be like an amazing, like, you know what? I've accomplished an awesome goal. Great. It's just cherry on the Sunday after that. Maybe one more would be sick. Awesome. Let's go Logan Reed, and then I guess I can finish up. But Logan, what about you? Biggest surprise?
Well, I didn't see myself buying this, but I did. The other night, ended up jumping on the PWCC auction and bought the gold finite of Leon Draisaitl rookie. It is numbered 29 out of 50.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, and maybe I just got a little bit too excited on it, and it was only $140. So that's how I'm justifying.
Wow.
Like, I feel like he
That's not
should have
bad.
been a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's at 8.5. That doesn't matter to me. But the thing is like he's playing on the same line as McDavid. If McDavid does well, Draisaitl's probably going to do it. So.
Well, I think there's at least two people in this chat that or in this podcast that would crack that bad boy right on out of there. But that's that's for each person to decide. But it's still amazing that you got it for the price you did. That's awesome. What would you guys think? That would be at least $200 being a jersey numbered card like that.
And I don't, and that's the other part too. Is I'm not too sure. I mean, I look at some of the other SPX retros, and they don't really carry the same value
Yeah.
as the older stuff. So I was just like, yeah, might as well take a stab at it. If not, it's in the PC.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Sweet, dude. All right, Reed. What about you? Biggest surprise of the year?
Yeah, we're coming full circle with my first one. Building when I decided to go after the Robertson Auto Rainbow, there was no plan to get the golden treasures. Like that was one of those things where it's like you just don't expect to ever even find those.
Mm-hmm.
But my buddy who introduced me to the hobby, he was on Facebook. He said he saw it. It got posted in a group with like 130 people in it, like tiny group.
Perfect.
And there it is.
Wow.
So sick. Auto's really nice on it. Yeah, 1 of 1.
And how long ago was this?
This was like right at the start of the year. This was like January, like 2nd or 3rd week of January. I got this.
Oh wow, yeah, that perfect time for you, huh?
Yeah, so I got it. Like I got it for I think $22.50, which I'm pretty happy with that.
That's really good.
Now, what is that card worth nowadays, you think?
Yeah, I've had some people say 5 figures. I really have no idea. I have no clue.
Right.
I don't really care because I'm not going to sell it. But
it's got to make you happy knowing, like, when you buy a card, like Mitch was saying, like at 10% of its value or 20% of its value, like that's sick, dude.
Yeah, I had no expectations of owning it, and it popped up in a group, and I didn't have that much money at the time, but I scraped the money together because I knew I'm never seeing that again.
Right.
If somebody buys it.
I think we all have a card or two in our heads that you go to like DEFCON 5 alert when it shows up, and you do whatever you have to get it, and it's as long as you're not selling your major stuff. There are a few cards out there like that. So good thing that Flurry Shield wasn't very good looking, or I would have really had to go crazy for it. Kelvin knows what this card is for me. We were just chatting one night, and I was like, I'm never going to see this card from Panini. Like, it's never going to happen. And I was chatting. I refreshed my search, and there it was. And he told me to stop talking and buy the card. So there it is. I can't believe one of them showed up, and let alone a dual color patch. All the patches I've seen are single colors, so I'm super happy. He got a little yellow in there. He's got very few pictures with that mask. And whoever this dude is in the background, congratulations. You're infamous on the Roundtable podcast, whoever you are. But yeah, that's by far the biggest surprise. Like, that was not a card I thought I would see anytime soon. And yeah, my heart almost jumped out of my chest when it showed up on my refresh searches. So, well, that is all 10. I would say that we've seen some ridiculous cards out here. All of us are obviously super happy with everything we've shown. Let's go ahead and show some of our, first we're going to get to Brady and Alex, and then we've got some other people that have sent in their top 10 or top 5s. So let's see if I can pull up Alex's picture here that he sent me. I've got his first picture of his top 4 of 5. I think some of us know some of these cards here. So we've got this Shield. We've got a rookie. This is out of 10, correct?
Yep, the Black Diamond Gold.
Yep, Black Diamond Gold. We've got to have a Bargnani in there, the 1-of-1 patch. And then he taught me who this wrestler is. Does anybody remember who she is?
Rhea Ripley.
All right. And
she sort of just burst on the scene the past couple of years. Her stuff is rising pretty high.
Awesome. What's your guys' favorite card out of this 4 here?
I'll go with Shield. I love Shield. Shield's for sure.
Shield.
It's beautiful.
I think because everybody's going to choose that, I'm going to say this card right here because I just, that was the heart of playing basketball and love of basketball for me. So a Wade like that would be a dream come true. He also sent this one. Can't forget this, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a big one.
Incredible card. And it's cool to see, like, get some of those lower end products getting love. I know that's not always the case. So really, really nice that they were able to do that. Here, I got a full, I got to give Brady a hard time. We like to do that on here. I said, can you send me individual pictures? And he goes, nope, this is what you're getting. So these are the top cards that he sent me. I mean, there's what's not to like about this picture, right? I mean, he's got some Pacific in there. He's got an acetate card. He's got nope. Can somebody help me out? What is going on with this card right here?
Which
I actually bought that card for Brady, the jersey card. It's from Topps, and it's out of 25. So it's one of Datsu's rarest jersey cards.
Yep.
The seller wouldn't ship it to Canada, so he like posted on Instagram before I ever knew him at all. Like, can anyone from the States like help me out with this card? And so I told him I'd buy it, and then I shipped it to him. I couldn't believe it. It was like a $250 card. It was a jersey card. So I'm like, okay, like I'll bid. His max bid I think was like $400, which I thought was absolutely nuts for a jersey. But that's like how I first like ever contacted Brady, was buying him that card.
Yeah.
All right. And thanks for getting the feet in there too, Brady. We appreciate that. Tim likes to do that too. Get the feet in the picture.
And one little tidbit about that picture is if you go to the top left, that Bowman Young Stars auto out of 50, that was my card and in my possession around 6 months ago. And that was one of the cards that me and Brady had to involve in order for me to get that Barkov titanium out of 2.
Oh, cool.
And I had that Datsu card in my collection, I think, since 2013. So from 2013 all the way till this year, I had it.
Wow.
And I didn't think I would ever let it go. But it took something like that Barkov for me to let that go.
Very cool. Very cool. I just love the variety that he has here, especially, I mean, I love the credentials, great card, but like the specific, we got the Laffy. I remember how excited he was when he got this, having a shield. I mean, for his collection, yes, is very well rounded, and really, really cool cards that he had here to show. All right, so let's go to. I'm just going to go in the order that I received these. So we've got Mark. So Mark begins Sports Maniac. He's a big Buron collector. He's been collecting a lot of Carey Price cards as of late. So he sent some great choices here, especially a little bit of 90s love or early 2000s. He's got this gold out of 33. Those are
Sick.
gorgeous. I'm guessing this is super short printed, which is why he threw it up there.
The SB Game Used, those are out of 5, I think.
Okay, awesome. We've got the Artifacts Messier right here, and those on. I don't think this is on card, but they do a really good job of hiding the sticker here. The Autofacts, I know that those don't show up nearly as much as you might think because it's such a huge checklist. And then I really like this card a lot, the on-card auto. And then we've got the Purple Houndstooth. This is out of 15, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, good. Anybody got a favorite out of this picture?
Platinum auto for me.
Pristine.
I'll go Pristine.
For me, it's Pristine for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep, this one up. And one thing, too, is there's a little bit of texture on this top part, too. For people who haven't seen one in person, these cards are spectacular already, but they have kind of a bumpy surface here where the picture of the player is. So, yeah, man, so nice. So nice. Cool. Awesome to see those. Let's go next to Chris, the Northern Flurry Collector. Hey, can that just be my pick? I don't know what you meant, dude, but volume accumulation, excuse me. He sent. Oh boy, this is a heavy picture. I hope you guys are ready for this.
I bet it is.
So here's the first 3.
Yeah.
Oh, Seismic Golds.
I didn't know they did one-on-ones of these. Holy moly!
Holy shit!
They did?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Neither did I.
We all learned something new today.
Yeah.
That's silver normally, right?
Wait, what year is that from?
Is 18 or 16?
2016.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So does that mean there's a Matthews one? The 101?
Oh, boy.
Like
Was he
rookie?
in the set? I don't remember.
I think he has
Did
one.
you say 15, 16, Mitch? Is that 15, 16 or 16, 17?
I think 16, 17.
It should be 16, 17, but I don't think there's a Matthews.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Can you imagine what that thing would do right now?
Yeah.
The internet would break.
Oh God! Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Kelvin and I sat all night and watched these auctions end, and that one right there, especially, oh boy.
I think that was a buy it now.
It was, yeah, because he
think it
bought
was
it. It was the most expensive card after the Crosby, I think, the green, or was it the most expensive out of all of them?
I think the Crosby credential 1 of 1. I
Oh.
think that and then the green. I think those were the 2 by no's.
Okay. Well, let me just say, after spending what I spent on the green, and then I saw how much this went for, I'm like, oh yeah, I got a great deal on my card. And then yeah, these are so pretty. I mean, it makes me jealous that Fleury never got into a credential set, because even these are super nice, just beautiful design. I should have probably done this one last, but whatever.
Yeah,
It's the order I got it in. So I don't even know. Do we even want to pick a favorite? I think they're all just amazing. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Great cards, man. Thanks for sending those our way to show off here for sure. We've got Al with a top 5. He's got 5 in a row. So he actually sent me individual pictures with a bunch of descriptions. Al, I can't share all that, so I'm just going to kind of go through as quick as I can here. Everybody knows Al. He loves Jerome, collecting him so much. So we've got this card here. This is the front. And then the back.
Oh wow.
Look at that.
Oh,
Patch
that's
right there.
sick.
Woo. Wow. And then we've got this one.
Oh.
Hard not to love the prime jumbo patch.
Yeah.
Almost the whole number.
It's so nice.
And then it was really cool. He had a bit of a story of picking this one up too, so that was awesome to see him get that. And then
Oh
yeah, I mean, geez, like,
Wow.
yeah. Yep. Thanks again, Mitch, for that one. Mechanic card, but yeah, I mean, can you ask for a better patch on a Bruins card? It
Nope.
says Bruins. I mean,
Yeah.
this one, the Supreme Sticks are such fun cards.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Synergy stick.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the Team Canada card he's talking about. Mitch, what was the? Did you know somebody that owned this?
Yeah, I saw someone post it for sale, and then I sent it to Al. Whenever I find like really rare Iginla cards, I send it to him. If it's more than like 15 copies, I won't even send it to him, because I just assume he has it.
Yeah.
And then even then, half the time he usually has it. So I was happy I finally got to send him a card that he didn't have.
I think we all feel the same when we all send each other cards, and then of course there's times where you find a cool card for a friend and then you can't remember what Facebook group it's in, right, Logan? But it is cool when we're able one time a year, if we can all help each other out just once. I think that's always a nice bonus when you're able to give the assist on cards, especially like that. And Al did a really cool post on his priority signings. I think he even did a book creator page that he likes to do where he posts all of his priority signings. But yeah, these out of 5, these hand number ones are as tough as they get. So yeah, very, very nice on that one, Al. Thanks for sharing all those with us. Let's see here. I've got a few people that said mine aren't here yet. Sorry, Alex said that too. He's like, half of my top 10 are not even here. They're coming from somewhere else. I think that last one, Name sent me his 5. So we'll end with this and then wrap up the show. Everybody that knows Name, he has an amazing Indigenous collection. So here are his 5. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
out of 3, I mean, yeah, geez. Yep, and it really interesting the pen they used here. You obviously, I don't know if it's faded, but you think they would have used like a thinner pen that would show up better, but still color match and everything.
A lot of them are like that, unfortunately, with that bronze pen. I don't know why it did that.
Because the silver ones out of 100, I believe, right? Or the non-numbered ones look really.
Yeah, silver's not numbered.
Okay. Yeah,
And then there's an out of 10 version.
And then he grabbed the gold out of 50. I mean, I don't particularly love this set, but then if it was out of 50, I would love it a lot more. The rarity helps out the value and just the overall appeal, but also having his signature pretty much fully in here. Flurries is all over the place, all up and down. This is perfect.
I love that jersey, the mustard cat. I think it's so sick. I love that jersey.
Those are really neat. I agree with you on that one. And then, finding the gold out of 10. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Flurry. That's pretty amazing. Not for sale, at least. I don't know. Nice to see Pacific go with the Jersey Auto variations. They didn't do that very often. And then, these are classic beehive design, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very, very nice. And then his last one is this Bork out of 25.
Oh, that's sick.
Very nice. It's just cool to see someone collect a variety of players, and you're not always chasing the higher end. I mean, we all like that, but it's nice to see someone who's able to track down tough cards of guys that not too many people collect. I would argue that those are tougher to find than a Jason Robertson out of 10. I think you're going to see way more of those than
For
a
sure.
Bork out of 25.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah, awesome. Well, Name, again, thank you, Name, and everybody else, Al, and everybody for sending those in. We enjoyed seeing those. And I don't know about you guys, but I think I said this last time. It's been the best year in the hobby for me. Tim, would you say for you as well?
Absolutely, hands down. Yep.
Awesome. Kelvin, same with you. I mean, yeah.
By far, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And Logan, what about you? You think it's been the best year in the hobby for you?
It's been okay. I mean, I don't know. The prices, they're up still. So that's great if you're selling, you know, but if you're looking for the specific stuff, you know, you wish it was pre-COVID. So,
all right.
But no, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry.
As the fire is going on, that's all. Everything's fine here.
No, everything's good.
Yeah, well, and I think I don't know about you guys, but I've got to give Logan a huge shout out for his EPAC info. I mean, his info on EPAC and reaching out to people and waiting for it to hit ComC and how that all works has helped me add some pretty sweet, especially those EPAC exclusive cards. Man, those are so fun. So appreciate that. You've definitely helped make the collection better this year because of that. Mitch, I don't know. This is tough for me. I mean, you've got some amazing cards, and we won't say part of the reason why that happened, but honestly, completing that set when you did, that's going to be tough to top that. How does this compare to the year that you finished off that, you know, the cup set that you finished?
Well, I mean, I've definitely picked up like more awesome cards this year than ever before. I mean, yeah, maybe when I finished the 0506 Cup set, that was like my top moment, but I had so many amazing moments. I also got to go to the expo for the first time ever, which was unbelievable. Hopefully I get to do that twice next year. So it'll be tough to top. The only negative thing that happened this year really was meeting you guys, but
don't worry, it's shared all the way around here, dude. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Well, I mean, the expo in itself, like and Kelvin went to 2 this year, like that already would be fun enough in my book. You know, everything else would be cherry on the top. But yeah, no, that's good to mention. What about you, Reed? I mean, how can you have a better year than your PC guy absolutely going crazy, and you have the cards you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, selfishly, I kind of like. Obviously, I want him to play well, but I would rather his stuff be half or a third of the price it is because I'm just, you know, like you guys are just buying to collect. You're not buying to make money on these cards. So, but it's great seeing him play well. I like seeing him get national recognition and most people know his name now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely seems like when ESPN starts like hyping up a hockey player that you know they've made it big time because you know, like last year at the end it was Trevor Zegras. Every time he would do a crazy goal, they'd blast this stuff all over, and then his hobby, you know, his market went up for a bit. But it's really nice to see. I mean, it was funny. Kelvin and I were talking early before the season started, and I said I'm drafting Robertson and Ottinger. They're going to go off this year, and it's kind of nice when you can kind of get that sense that they've got the potential and he's putting it together. And I just hope that he keeps it up for my fantasy team, but not against the Wild. That's all I got to say. I hope he sucks against them. But no, he's been amazing this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's
cool.
wrap it up with this one thing, because this is our last show of the year, probably, unless we're able to get one more. And I don't know. I mean, I don't want to burn this completely, but we can unwrap this more maybe before the end of 2022, no pun intended. I'd like to go around and have everybody share one goal that they have for themselves going into next year. Obviously, it's hard to say, okay, by the end of next year, I want all these things. But like, what's one either card or set or goal for yourself for next year, 2023? Whenever you're ready, just go for it.
I already have.
Go ahead, Tim.
So for me, you guys know I already started have the mindset of starting that Sedin PC, but it's really with one card in mind that just keeps on playing in my head over and over again, which is the 1998-99 SHL dual game jersey auto. And it's just for like how, first of all, the card itself is beautiful. I love the game jerseys from early day Upper Deck. And then to have the signature actually on the swatches themselves rather than like on the actual cardboard of the card, for me, that puts it over the top. And like, I can't get that card out of my head. So like, when it came to 2023 and making my goals, because I do think about it sometimes, that's the card I want to find and want to buy. It's going to come at a high cost, but like what Matt was saying earlier, go DEFCON 5. If I could find something within reason, I'm going to go for it. But that's the main one that I would like for next year.
Awesome. Hope you're able to find that too, especially to kind of like get that PC really off the ground. You know, I think it'll just go from there for sure. Yeah. Who else has a goal for next year?
Yeah, I can go. So for like, you know, the J-Rob PC, I mean, there's definitely a bunch of the cup stuff I want, but the card that I know exists right now that I really want pretty badly is the Premier 101 RPA. It's some guy in Finland pulled it like 2 weeks ago, and Mitch actually sent it to me. So if I was able to pick that up, that would have definitely won the community assist award, because I don't think I'd ever seen that. But I'm trying to work him, trying to pry it out of his hands, but he says he doesn't need the money if he doesn't want to sell it. So it's nothing I can do right now. But on like a goal a little more wide scoped than that is, you know, once Cup's done and I kind of collect and get a lot of the J-Rob cards that I want, I do want to start branching out a little more. I want to get a few more cool Turco patches and then expand outside of my Dallas stuff as well a little bit. I think that's my main goal, probably second half of the year next year.
Nice. We're definitely going to want to have some options because, you know, the pricing of his stuff, especially with the Cup, is going to be a little bit tough to work around getting multiple copies, but cool. Awesome. Variety is always a good thing for sure.
Definitely.
How about you, Mitch? Do you have a goal for next year beyond going crazy for the new Cup? No, just kidding.
Hey, third time's a charm. Nice job.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I can't hear it, but I agree with what you're saying.
Easily my number one goal for 2023. Focus again. I don't know why. I need a new fucking webcam. I shouldn't have said that.
It had to happen eventually. It took all year. Hopefully no kids are watching.
I forgot. I just forgot. Sorry about that.
Okay, go for
I apologize to Matt's students.
They're not watching this, I'll tell you that. They're not watching this.
Anyway, my number one goal is to finish this set. It's a 90 card set. I need 4 more cards. So if anyone has any clue where these 4 are, I know Al has this one. Jerome McGinley, Patrick Marlowe, Ajay Kopitar, and Grant Fuhrer. Please let me know. I will pay more than anyone else will for these cards, or I will trade like better cards of those players. I've like bought cards of each of those players to like use as trade bait that are like way better than that card, and I still can't get them. So I'm like pulling my hair out trying to finish this set. So if I can get those 4 cards, then I'll be very happy.
Now we know why he bought the Atomic. It's all coming together. See? Huh? All right. Awesome. Well, I hope you're able to find those. I want you to find the other card that we've talked about. Is it the Beliveau? John Beliveau or
Oh yeah, that card I have no actual expectation of ever seeing. The 0506 the Cup honorable numbers of John Beliveau out of 4. I've never seen one before. If I saw one, I would go crazy. I would do some very irresponsible things to get that card. So, but I've never even seen a picture of it. So,
okay,
that's my favorite card.
It'd be nice to see a picture this year, at least, right? To at least know that it exists.
Yeah. Maybe it's really ugly, and I don't even like. I wonder what picture it is.
That's true. There could be that for sure. Logan, what about you? What's one of your goals for this next year?
I think I kind of want to find a set to collect, but I don't want to have duds in it, like guys that rookies that don't amount to anything, because then it would be unenjoyable. So I don't really know. That's where I'm kind of leaning toward, and expand the Blackhawks PC a little bit. Look for some of those hard to find cards, like the one that was sent today, but we don't know who has it.
Yeah, jeez.
No,
No,
I was
so
just looking
lame.
earlier, and I was like, I have no idea.
I couldn't find it again, man. I was on Facebook, and this amazing card shows up. I screenshot it. Didn't include the group. Didn't include the person. Oh, it was not good. Good teamwork on my part. So we'll track it down.
It's okay, but that would be definitely one. Just expand the PC a little bit in the Blackhawk sense, not so much just straightforward Kane.
Well, hopefully, one of these sets that comes in Metal Universe or that Lamplighter set, I don't know. Maybe there's a couple that Kane is in that you can grab that's got other good players in it. That would be cool. What about you, Kelvin?
If I had to pick one, I guess it would be finish the gold prism set. Let me grab them all here.
What are you missing?
I'm missing the Freezer's gold, so I have all of them except for the Freezer's gold, which is this card but in gold. So I'm missing. I found the 1-on-1 obviously first for whatever reason, but yeah, I had never seen a picture of it. It's not on ComC, not on like Google anywhere. I don't know if it actually exists, but I mean it probably does. But I think that's the main card for next year.
All right. Well, if we're gonna say which card we want, Mitch, after knowing Mitch and like how much he talks about the cup, it made me like it even more. I would love to find a copy of this card right here for my collection. I know that Mitch, you're not super high on this design. That's cool, but it's the year of the photo, the cup winning year. It's his one of his only last big cup cards that are not like out of 5 or something that I'm missing. So this is a huge goal of mine to get this card. Like this is my most reasonable, affordable target card. And I would say that this is the one I think about every time I load up my save searches. I'm like, please be in there, but maybe one day it'll happen. So, well, cool. I've had a great show with you guys. I don't know. Hopefully everybody had a good time. Yeah, that's funny. But thanks so much for sharing all your cards, guys. It's been an amazing year. Really happy that we were able to get the roundtable going again, by the way, and really can't wait to see what next year has in store for us. So, yeah, thanks again for we got Name and Al. We had Jeff, Carl, some dude named Alex, and anybody else making it in here? Bobby Burrows, somebody's dad. Volume Accumulation, and yeah. Thanks for everybody for jumping in the chat, and hopefully people on Instagram got to watch too. So have a great night, everybody. Happy holidays, and we'll see you come 2023.
Yep.
Take care. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.